Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video to showcase how easy and effective it is to create reports with this Claude integration. We are able to quickly enter any kind of information into Claude. It takes that information, in this instance, calls the Keepa API, pulls information, and then compiles it into a nice little dashboard. And we can iterate on this as we move forward if we're not happy with the results it gives. I'm going to quickly go into show you some of the results I already have built out. What does this look like? How I actually did it and go through step by step. And then how you can potentially implement this yourself, or I can help you build out more of these moving forward. So if we dive into this right now, you'll see that I want to get a buy box report of this ASIN. If we go into Amazon and just search for this ASIN, we notice that it is a Nova culinary product. So it is a sous vide. Reason why I actually pulled this product is Keep is really good at understanding what is who holds buy box, how often they hold it for, and how impactful it is on your sales. So this product has 48 resellers, and no surprise, majority of those sellers are taking buy box away from Innova. So if we go and dive into this report here, you'll see that I want to get the buy box report. I also want to get some seller IDs and names, and I want to understand what is the lost sales analysis of it. And what Claude was able to do is plan out an approach on how it's going to gather the information, and then anytime you see these type of little areas, it is pretty much um, Claude calling the API. So right now it had to call the product API, it called the seller ID API, it analyzed the data that it took in from both the APIs, and then it built out an interactive dashboard. And this is similar to what I shared before, but figured it's better to see it in person, or at least in action. Um, so if we dive into here, we can see that there's interactable charts. You can get a lot of different information by just hovering over it. We can see that it took everything and is able to compile it into a nice viewable way. We have tabs into different portions of what the information it gathered. So price analysis, seller analysis, and you'll see in this one that it didn't pull the seller names or the IDs or really give a full list, and we'll get into how we can change that later on. And then it also gives you recommendations on how can we adjust optimal price strategy to potentially garner um, more authority on the buy box than over the resellers. So on top of this, it also is able to give you a markdown report. So visualizations are nice, but it doesn't, a lot of the time they're lacking insights and information that you want to kind of transfer to either internal teams or your customer slash brand. And the markdown report is able to give you that dialogue. So we have the executive summary, the key findings, product overview, price analysis, distribution, correlation. A lot of the things that are in this report will also get in the markdown. Just a little bit more detail and in a different way to showcase that data. So you're able to see this all here. Now, what I did later on here is that from that report that we see here on the lost analysis, or pretty much on the report that we saw on the dashboard, which we'll go back here real quick, we see that, again, those sellers are not showing up. So I went down here and asked if we can get the seller names as well as some more information on how can we win the buy box over without changing MSRP, because a lot of brands can't change the MSRP to get the buy box. They have to think outside the box and um, figure out different ways. So First, it changed a couple of different things in the markdown, but what we saw, the big change here is if we go to seller analysis, now we get the seller IDs, the seller names, how much they have buy box share of, and a lot more useful information. So the reason I'm showing you this is it's not just create a report and then you can't iterate on what that report looks like. You have opportunity to ask it questions, have it change things. If I wanted this to change this maybe to purple, well, we have purple, or like we see that there's two blue, maybe we want to utilize red. Can you utilize red or the color red in the pie chart on top of, let's just X if we can incorporate red. We can change different elements of this. So you'll see it'll update the pie chart to utilize red coloring. It has to modify some of the color schemes, and it's done. Let's see if it actually did it. Oh, look at that. Now we have a red in there. So it's very easy to just quickly go in here, type. You can even talk to Claude. There's a microphone option on some applications, and ask it questions and build out a report. There's many possibilities. There's many opportunities to pretty much streamline reporting, as long as we connect it to a data source. That could be through API, that could be through scraping, that could be through Google Sheets, that could be through a lot of different connections. Then we can pull that data in here, create the report, create the insights, and at the end of the day, if you don't want to host this on your own domain or you don't want to download anything, you can also publish it to the web. So if we publish this to the web, we'll do publish and copy. We can see now on Amazon, if we take that link and paste it, or not on Amazon, sorry, on the web, we can now see and share this link to whoever. Again, internal, external, whoever has this link has viewable access to this dashboard. Same goes with anything that you produce in Claude that has an artifact and you can publish it, you can share it with external members. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in more videos on how I can integrate data into Claude, this also works with ChatGPT if that's your preferred AI. Let me know. I'm more than happy to show you what does it look like in progress. How do I connect to different data? What does that data look like? There's other integrations too. We can connect to Gmail, we can connect to Slack, we can connect to ClickUp or Monday.com or Notion and really like streamline processes. But right now this is for Keepa. I'm in the process of building out one for Amazon's Ads API. But exciting stuff. Reach out to me if you have any questions and have a great day.